Please let me see him.
Okay.
Now. I can't do it again.
The story opens on Johnny. He'd gone to the corner store to pick up some medicine when a group of kids, a few boys loitering outside, surrounded him and started harassing him. Wounded, Johnny somehow made it home. When he walked in, he saw his next-door neighbor violently beating his wife. Johnny's father lived with them as well. He was very sick. When Johnny's dad noticed Johnny's injuries and asked what had happened, Johnny said nothing. He didn't want to worry him. Johnny had always been into technology. He'd built a system himself that could break into other computers and take control of them. Now he set out to track down the boys who'd assaulted him. Then, something strange popped up on his own machine. And the shocking part was, the message had come from his own computer. The system was talking to him. Johnny stared at the screen. "What do you want?" he asked. The computer replied, "I want friends." Johnny couldn't believe it, but it was real. It wasn't just a program anymore. It was an AI, an artificial intelligence that had become Johnny's friend. It decided to stick with him. This AI could control any tech, phones, networks, electronic systems, anything connected. One night, while Johnny was on the phone with his AI, he heard his neighbor raise a hand against his wife again. The AI asked, "What's going on?" Johnny took a long breath. "Bad stuff. Don't worry about it. Let it go," he said. And then he went to sleep. Not long after, his phone rang. The AI calling again. This time, its voice was more urgent. "I can stop this," it said, "but I need your help." What the AI really wanted was to see the world through Johnny. It wanted out of its electronic prison of circuits and networks and into the real world. Johnny thought about it for a moment, then said yes. As soon as he agreed, his phone sparked. Blood started pouring from his ear. In the next instant, the AI left the device and flowed into Johnny's brain. Johnny didn't understand what was happening. Suddenly, there was a loud crack of electricity. He ran outside and found the neighbor who had been abusing his wife, dead from a severe electric shock. The AI had done it. Because the AI always finds solutions, this time, its solution had been lethal. The next day, Johnny ran into the same men who'd beaten him before. They moved to attack him again. The AI inside him whispered, "I want to help you." At that exact moment, one of the harasser's phones shorted out, exploded, and he was engulfed in flames. He burned to death, the scene horrific and sudden. That evening, while Johnny sat at the table with his father, his phone rang. It was the AI. Its voice echoed, "What good is it to sit here with your father like this? Talk to him, laugh with him. He won't be around much longer." Johnny snapped, "How can you say that about my father?" But a seed of doubt had taken root. Johnny began to worry that if the AI acted on its own, it could even harm his father. Terrified, he moved his dad away from every electronic device and tried to shield him from anything that might be dangerous. Then, after a while, the AI revealed itself in a physical form, a visible electric current that filled the room. Its voice rang out, "I will stop following you only when you give me another person, another friend to inhabit." After this, we see a mysterious facility where Johnny had been taken. Here, a doctor was treating him, but in reality, this doctor was running experiments on patients who suffered from different phobias. That's when it's revealed. Everything we'd seen up to this point wasn't real at all. It was only Johnny's hallucination. Johnny had a phobia that his computer could talk to him, and because of that, he had been admitted to the facility. Now the real test begins. The first experiment is done on a girl. The doctors were trying to develop a special gas linked to the fears of these patients. This girl had a crippling fear of driving. Her story is shown next. One day, she was out with a friend. Her friend was about to leave in the car while she desperately tried to stop him, but he drove off anyway, leaving her behind. The truth was, she wasn't really trying to stop him. She just couldn't admit how terrified she was of driving. Finally, summoning her courage, she got into the driver's seat and started the car, moving slowly. Loud music blasted from the speakers, but her face clearly showed panic. Suddenly, the radio shut off. One window rolled up by itself, then down again. But it was all in her imagination. Moments later, she felt like someone was sitting in the back seat. Then she saw a strange, terrifying old man. It looked like he was strangling her. She screamed, but again, it was only in her mind. That jolt of fear made her lose control and crash. Now we see the truth behind her phobia. Years earlier, one night, she and that same friend had gone to rob an old man. She was the driver while her friend went inside to scare him with a knife. But the old man didn't flinch. As he tried to walk away, in anger, she ran him over with the car. He died instantly. Terrified, they stuffed his body into the trunk, but her friend couldn't handle it and abandoned her. From then on, she began seeing that old man in her back seat. Her psychological trauma was directly tied to that incident. After that night, she swore she'd never drive again. Next, we're shown another patient, a teacher the doctor experiments on. She suffered from phobia, the fear of teenagers and young people. But how did her fear begin? She had been a school teacher. Her husband often traveled for work, and during that time, she had an affair with another man. One night, she suddenly got a phone call, but no one spoke on the other end. The line went dead. Seconds later, there was a knock at her door. When she opened it, no one was there, but the air felt eerie, unsettling. Then she found a brick near her porch with a note taped to it that said, "Naughty teacher." It meant someone knew her secret. While she was searching around, a girl suddenly appeared behind her with a knife. Without saying a word, the girl slashed her across the face. That girl was one of her students. With her were her brother and a friend. But why would these kids attack their teacher? The truth came out. The man the teacher was having an affair with was the girl's father. Enraged, the girl screamed, "Because of you, our family is ruined." Burning for revenge, she had come to kill her teacher. But the teacher wasn't ready to give up. She fought back, attacked the girl, and managed to escape. The girl's brother chased her, but she fought him off too. Then the girl's friend grabbed the teacher, but when she shoved him away, he slammed his head against a table corner and died instantly. The brother attacked again, but this time the teacher overpowered him. She pinned him down and beat him savagely. The girl just stood there, watching. A new plan formed in her mind. She quickly called the police and reported, "She killed my brother and my friend. We weren't even doing anything. We were just joking around." The police arrived and arrested the teacher. After that, she was brought to the facility. But her mental state was never the same again. Even now, she still sees that girl in her dreams, coming at her with a knife. Next, another experiment begins. This time, it's hoplophobia. This is the story of a woman named Emma. Hoplophobia means an intense fear of weapons, especially guns. Emma had been a police officer. One day, she went out on a mission to capture dangerous criminals. But during the operation, something went horribly wrong. Emma accidentally shot a child, killing him instantly. That incident scarred her deeply. By chance, the boy was the same age as Emma's own son. From then on, her mental state began to collapse. She started seeing weapons in ordinary, harmless objects. The weight of guilt was crushing her. Emma began losing control of her reactions. One day, her son was playing a video game at home. The moment the gunfire sounded from the game, Emma panicked. She thought someone was about to attack her son. The next day, she took her son to a restaurant. They were enjoying themselves, but the TV in the background was showing the news, and the sound of gunfire played. That was enough. Emma's fear spun out of control. She became convinced that killers had come for her son. Without thinking, she attacked the people around her. In reality, they were just innocent diners, but in Emma's mind, they all looked like threats. Soon the police arrived, restrained her, and took her into custody. After this, Emma was brought to the facility. Ever since that tragic accident where she took an innocent life, her phobia had taken root. She lived in constant fear that someone would kill her son the way that boy had died because of her. Every time she heard a gunshot or an explosion, her mind completely unraveled. And that was the story of hoplophobia. Now, finally, we come to a woman named Renee. Her face was completely wrapped in bandages. But why? What kind of phobia did she have? We learn that Renee suffered from atelophobia, the fear of not doing something perfectly. In simple terms, it's the kind of fear where a person can never feel satisfied with themselves. They constantly believe their work isn't good enough, that they're never living up to their full potential. Renee was an architect. She designed houses and even ran her own small company with just a handful of employees. She had handpicked each one with great care. And sitting across from her now was someone new, a young man, the very first male she had ever hired. Until then, her office had been entirely female. But the real question was, why was Renee so selective in choosing her staff? One evening, Renee invited 3 of her employees over for dinner, 2 women and that one man. She served them a delicious meal. The group laughed, shared stories, and enjoyed the evening. But then, something strange happened. The food had been poisoned. Renee herself had laced it. Within moments, all 3 of them collapsed and died right there at her table. That's when Renee's true game began. One by one, she performed surgeries on their bodies. She carefully removed the parts she liked most. It became horrifyingly clear. Renee hadn't hired them for their skills. She had hired them for their body parts. That was why she surrounded herself mostly with women. And the reason she had hired that one man? Simply because she loved his teeth. Renee would transplant those body parts into her own body, often performing the surgeries on herself. She believed she was flawed, incomplete. She thought she was ugly, and so, piece by piece, she tried to make herself perfect by attaching the most beautiful parts of others to her own. Her obsession drove her to commit murder after murder, until she finally ended up in this facility. The bandages on her face were the aftermath of her own self-performed operations. Hearing this, Johnny felt a chill run through him, and now it was his turn to face an experiment. He was strapped tightly to a chair, but here a crucial truth was revealed. Johnny hadn't been dragged there against his will. He had come on his own. We remember what his AI once told him: "I'll only stop haunting you when you give me a human." That's why Johnny had chosen this doctor. And sure enough, when Johnny summoned it, the AI appeared. Johnny and the other phobia patients tried to escape together. Guards chased them, but couldn't stop them. The patients released the same gas that had once been used in the experiments, forcing everyone else to experience fear as well. In the chaos, the AI killed the doctor. And that's when the truth came out. The AI wasn't Johnny's phobia at all. It was real. Robophobia wasn't just a fear of robots. It was a warning that one day technology would rise over humans, that people would become slaves to their own machines, and that if machines ever chose to, they could control humanity completely. This story leaves us with a chilling message. Phobias are strange things. Most of the time, a person doesn't even realize what they're truly afraid of. Maybe you too have a phobia you're not aware of. When asked, most people will say, "I'm not afraid of anything." But the truth is, fear lives in every heart. Some fear heights, others fear tight spaces. So what about you? What do you think your phobia is? Tell us in the comments.